They call them fun boys. They'll say, we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta.
What about Busta Rhymes? I've definitely seen quite a few people not too happy about your story about Busta Rhymes.
Well, ain't nobody saying nothing to me.
Never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He was doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin, and the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. Well, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
Welcome back to StarHush, where the secrets don't stay in the dark for long. This time the spotlight is on none other than Busta Rhymes, and the streets are buzzing. A former bodyguard just came forward and dropped some eyebrow-raising claims, and they ain't light. He's putting Busta on blast, saying the rapper had some super questionable rules when it came to who was allowed in his VIP section, especially when it came to younger men.
So, I hear somebody say, oh, he's cute, I want him. So when I heard that, I turned around like, man, did he just say that? Man, you got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild. Shocked me. But sure enough.
And that was the guy that Busta Rhymes pulled back?
He pulled him into the section. Pulled him into the section, and then they walled him off like this man. I'm like, damn. And that little dude was so happy. He couldn't believe that. He was shocked.
And trust, that was just the tip of the drama. Out of left field, Orlando Brown came crashing into the conversation, and like always, he showed up doing the absolute most. He didn't waste a second before tossing out some wild claims, accusing Busta Rhymes of living a secret life behind the scenes. But he didn't stop there. Orlando took it way further, saying Busta had something to do with his personal spiral. These kinds of accusations aren't just reckless. They've got everybody watching this situation unfold like a real-life soap opera.
If Busta ever try to front on me, hit you with no delay, so what you saying, yo? Silly with that 9 milli, what the devil, yo? Yeah, I do his better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes' show. Cause look, man, if they try to say that if you ever thought that the Busta Rhymes was better than me, you crazy.
Then 50 Cent jumped in like he always does, stirring the pot and dropping cryptic comments that had everybody raising eyebrows at Busta and this so-called secret lifestyle he's being tied to. You already know, when 50 throws shade, the whole internet starts digging. But here's where things really take a wild turn. Now a bunch of different guys are stepping forward, sharing their own stories. They're claiming Busta allegedly made bold out-of-pocket moves, trying to get them to come kick it with him in ways that felt real off.
And I'm walking across the street and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he holding my hand. Now I ain't know it was Busta at first. You know, Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big ass flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I'm like, and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up?
But let's keep it all the way real. This ain't even about who someone's into. The bigger issue is how some of these industry dudes be fronting like they're solid in public, all tough guy energy, but behind closed doors, the vibe switches fast. They're moving shady, doing things that don't line up with the image they sell. Instead of standing 10 toes down in their truth, they're out here crossing boundaries, making people feel uncomfortable, and even putting hands on folks who clearly ain't with it. That's the problem, the fake mask and the foul behavior.
I seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh yeah.
In some of your videos.
Oh yeah. Super zest monster. But if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section.
People in the industry been side-eyeing Busta for years, whispering behind the scenes about his behavior, but keeping it hushed to protect their own ties. But now, the lid's been blown off and everything's spilling into the public eye. No more secrets. It's all out there for the world to judge. So what exactly did Orlando Brown and 50 Cent say about Busta Rhymes? And did he really cross the line with those young dudes like folks are claiming? We're about to break the whole thing down piece by piece, no filters. And let's be clear, this isn't even the first time Busta's name has been dragged into controversy like this.
We come from a very homosexual era of hip hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time, her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle.
Put out those pictures of the dude pulling his pants down, and it looked like some gay act that was going on. He got on the phone. He said, let me tell you this. When I get back to New York City, if she's on the radio station, he's talking to a radio executive. He said the same thing to he said, nobody that I deal with, nobody that I know is gonna do anything with y'all, no business at all. It ain't gonna be no artist, no nothing gonna come. He's telling people that at a radio station. When we got back to New York City, Wendy Williams was in Philly at a new station.
Wow.
That's the power he had.
Out to Wendy Williams, the first woman to uncover the homo thugs. That's what these download was called when Wendy first started talking about it in the 90s, the homo thug. She talking about Diddy.
And then what's the stuff that's happening with Wendy Williams? You think this is all connection too?
Of course. They've been waiting. He's been waiting. He was waiting for Kim. Remember? He was waiting. The casket was ready. She was literally casket ready.
Let's take it back to 2006, when Busta Rhymes was already making headlines for wilding out in public. According to the New York Post, a male fan just came up, tapped Busta on the shoulder, and tried to show some love, congratulating him on his comeback. Seemed harmless, right? But instead of showing gratitude, Busta completely snapped. Witnesses say he turned up out of nowhere and went off on the fan, and then it got real ugly. He allegedly looked at his bodyguard and said, "I hate effing slur men." Yup, he really said that. That moment left a stain, and folks haven't forgotten. And if you thought that was over the top, fast forward to 2007. Busta was asked about homophobia in hip-hop, and instead of clearing the air, what he said next had people doing double takes all over again.
I seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh yeah.
In some of your videos.
Oh yeah. Super zest monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this been common knowledge though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, you know, we gotta bring some we gotta bring some, what they call them, I'm not gonna say it on here. They call them fun boys. They say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Cause you know, I bodyguarded for Ghostface Killer before, you feel me? And being around him, you hear things, you feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan, you feel me? Like, every cookout she playing it, all his little fast rapping, all of that, him and Craig Mack playing that.
Busta didn't hold back, not even a little. When asked about the topic, he kept it blunt and raw. He said that based on what he represents culturally, he doesn't support or condone homosexuality, period. Reporters tried to push for more, asking if hip-hop would ever be ready to fully accept an openly gay rapper. But Busta didn't even give them an answer. He just got up mid-interview and walked out without saying another word. But now, fast forward to today, and everything's flipped. The conversation is way different, and now he's the one in the hot seat. People are wondering if Busta's been hiding something all along. Is all this anger and shade just a reflection of something internal? Is he projecting his own battles onto others? And let's be clear, this ain't about who Busta may or may not be into. That's his personal business. What's really got folks talking is the behavior, the aggression, the stories about self-hate, and the way he's been accused of putting hands on women and even allegedly crossing lines with male staff members. That's where the red flags start waving. It's the hypocrisy that got the streets buzzing.
On my soul, I'm out with a group of people At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin, and the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. But I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure, bro. You ain't never heard about this before, have you? Bro, this common knowledge, bro. Like, if you in the mix, bro. If you in the mix, like I've been in the mix, you know.
Now let's take it way back to the early 2000s, when those whispers about Busta's private life first started creeping out. And you know who had the nerve to say it loud on air? Wendy Williams. That's right, Wendy was the first to pull the curtain back. She wasn't dropping hints, she was full on calling it out, referring to what she called the homo thug lifestyle in the industry. Word is, Wendy had a whole list of rappers that people claimed were living double lives. She didn't flinch. She put names out and let her radio callers spill messy stories about supposed run-ins with some of the biggest names in the game. And guess whose name supposedly made that infamous list Wendy Williams used to talk about on air? You guessed it, Busta Rhymes. One caller even dropped a claim so wild it had folks frozen. The man said Busta punched him in the face right after he allegedly got down on his knees for him. Yeah, that's a whole different level of chaos. But wait, it gets even crazier. The same caller claimed that right after the incident, Busta told him to keep quiet, straight up warning him not to speak on it. And here's the kicker. This allegedly happened at a well-known NYC club. You know, one of those hush-hush spots where celebs go when they want to move under the radar, especially when it came to those private meetups with men.
I'm walking, New York City, you know, going to a club. It was Halloween weekend, you know, everybody was out. And it was this party we was going to, me, my boy, and his friend that had came in from Detroit. Friend that had came in from Detroit. And I'm walking across the street and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he holding my hand. Now I ain't know it was Busta at first. You know, Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big ass flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I'm like, and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up? Now he holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? He like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? You know, and then I noticed throughout my peripheral vision, the side eye, this big bodyguard in black. Just standing there, you know, looking around, you know, looked at me, you know, still looking around. Meanwhile, Busta still got my hand in his hand.
But here's where it gets even deeper. Word is, Busta went full damage control after that call aired. He allegedly made major moves behind the scenes to get the recording wiped clean off the internet. But Wendy's Day One listeners, oh, they didn't forget. They remember that episode like it aired last week. And let's be clear, Busta wasn't the only one getting exposed. Wendy had smoke for everybody. She was one of the first to go public about the rumors surrounding Diddy too. And this wasn't just speculation. Wendy brought receipts. Now here's where things get real messy. Word in the streets is that when Diddy found out Wendy had a photo of him with another man, he didn't just get mad, he got powerful. Allegedly, he flexed his industry pull and got her fired from Hot 97, pretty much pushing her out of New York and forcing her to start fresh in Philly. And if you're thinking that's just some urban legend, Jaguar Wright recently confirmed the whole thing. She said plain and clear that Wendy was the first to blow the lid off Diddy's so-called homo thug circle in the industry. And now here's the plot twist. Folks are saying that this is exactly why Busta and Diddy got so close in the first place, because they were protecting the same secrets.
How long has it been like this known about Busta Rhymes?
Well, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How can we think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section, they at the club, they at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matters most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like nothing's finna happen. Nobody wanna kill you guys, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got a threat on their life, I move way different. Nobody wants to kill these entertainers like that, bro. Like when I do my threat assessment, there's never an immediate threat of danger. It's never a situation that they're gonna tell me, oh, this person wants to murder me, this person wants to bring harm on me.
Word on the street, Busta and Diddy had way more in common than music. Some folks even claimed they were out here sharing young dudes between them, passing them around behind closed doors. And now that Diddy's facing serious federal heat, Busta's been keeping his distance, acting like they were never that close. But let's not act brand new. They were tight for years. Go all the way back to the 90s. Busta was right there, chilling heavy with Diddy, J-Lo, Aaliyah, Hype Williams, basically the full roster of the industry elite. They were always on the scene, cameras flashing, all smiles. There are even old pics of Busta and Diddy kicking it next to none other than Jay-Z. And if you really study those flicks, some folks say Diddy was looking at Busta like he was the main course. Literally, it was giving something extra. And here's the part people forget. Busta was still hyping up Diddy as late as September 2023. That's just weeks before Cassie came out of nowhere with that explosive lawsuit that had the whole internet spinning. So the timing, real suspicious.
And he says, you know, I'm about to go in this club. You know, we got a section. You know, you can come in with me if you want. And I'm like, word, for real? Like, that's what's up. Like, he was like, yeah. I was like, well, I gotta, you know, tell my people. I was like, I come in, you know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, just let me know, you know, tell them that you coming in there to meet with me and come on up. And I was like, bet. So, of course I'm excited, you know what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes is one of my favorite artists.
Now let's circle back to what Jaguar Wright said about Wendy Williams airing out these so-called homo thugs. Wendy wasn't using that phrase just because these dudes were rumored to be into men on the low. Nah, the issue was how they were moving, allegedly using power, fear, and sometimes violence to silence anyone who got too close to the truth. And let's keep it a buck, both Diddy and Busta got long histories of putting hands on folks, men and women, usually people who wouldn't or couldn't fight back. The pattern's been there, and Busta's legal record? Messy doesn't even begin to describe it. Go back to 2006, he allegedly put hands on a man for spitting on his car. That one incident was just the tip of a long list of wild altercations, but trust, that wasn't the only time the law came knocking at Busta's door. Later that same year, he found himself in more hot water when prosecutors tried to hit him with a weapons charge. According to Billboard, they claimed Busta had a machete just chilling in his car like it was no big deal. Who rides around like that? Then fast forward to 2007, and boom, another situation. This time Busta got arrested and hit with a misdemeanor charge after allegedly getting rough with his ex-driver over money. Yeah, money drama. And here's the kicker. Busta didn't fight it in court. He pleaded guilty to both cases and ended up with 3 years of probation. Just when it looked like he might be in the clear, bam, 2009 pulled up with more heat. The New York Post dropped the tea that Busta had to pay up $75,000 to a fan who claimed things got out of control at one of his shows. According to the lawsuit, Busta got so mad that the fan was leaving early, he wilded out. It wasn't even about him. The fan said he came to see Fabulous perform, but when Fab never hit the stage, he figured he'd bounce after Busta's set. But Busta, he wasn't feeling that. The man claimed Busta told him to sit back down, then threw a water bottle at him. And then 2 more. It didn't stop there. One of Busta's bodyguards allegedly ran up and straight punched the dude in the face. For what? Just because he didn't want to stay for the full show. So yeah, when you look at all that smoke Busta's been caught in over the years, it's not hard to understand why he and Diddy been rolling tight all this time. The vibes, chaotic and way too similar. But beyond the tempers and wild outbursts, there's another thing folks are saying Busta and Diddy had in common. Their very specific taste for younger men. And if you ask Busta's ex-bodyguard, Big Homie CC, he's not holding anything back. According to him, Busta wasn't just partying, he had a system in place. Word is, Busta was out here sending his crew into the club to scout out young, fine dudes and bring them straight to his VIP section like they were on some secret mission. When Big Homie CC sat down with the art of dialogue, he had the internet gasping, calling Busta a super zest monster, and spilling details that had people shook. According to CC, this wasn't just some new discovery. Nah, this was something folks inside the industry already knew. It was one of those say it quietly secrets. He said everyone in the nightlife world, especially club promoters, was hip to Busta's preferences. Allegedly, whenever Busta touched down at a party, promoters were already on alert. The plan was clear. Line up some fresh-faced, sharp-looking young dudes and post them up in VIP to keep Busta entertained. But the story that really had people talking? Big Homie CC recalled one wild night involving actor and model Don Benjamin. CC says Don showed up at the club with one of his boys, who just so happened to be gay. And once Busta locked eyes with him, it was a wrap. According to CC, Busta damn near lunged at the guy, pulled him straight into his section, and kept him close like he was claiming territory. Big Homie said Busta wasn't letting that dude out of his sight, making sure he stayed right there next to him the whole night. And here's the part that really set the tone. This wasn't a one-time thing. According to CC, this was routine. Every single time Busta hit the club, the unspoken rule was clear. Find the finest man in the room and escort him straight into Busta's section. Everybody in the scene knew what time it was. Big Homie CC even remembered Busta straight up saying the guy looked cute. And once he had him locked in the VIP section, he wasn't letting him go. That wasn't just a vibe. It was a full-on move. According to CC, he's been hip to Busta's ways for over a decade. And when folks asked why no one ever spoke out about it, he kept it real. Because they all wanted to be in that VIP section too. People were chasing clout, not the truth. But that's only half the story. Big Homie CC also called out something people don't talk about enough. Busta's alleged history of snapping on women. According to him, it almost felt like Busta had some deep-rooted jealousy toward women just for being women. That kind of energy doesn't come out of nowhere. It's got folks questioning what's really behind the anger. And if you're thinking, maybe this is just one guy talking spicy, think again. A whole lineup of men have started coming forward, sharing their own wild encounters with Busta. Back in 2020, a social media user named Trip Ali spilled his own tea on YouTube, and it got real spicy. He claimed that Busta tried to get his attention while he was on his way to a Halloween party in NYC. According to Trip, Busta invited him to slide into his VIP section. At first, Trip was excited, thought it was about to be a regular turn-up with a celeb, but then everything went left. Trip got into an argument with his friend, who wasn't feeling the whole idea of kicking it with Busta. The disagreement escalated into a full-on fight right there in the city. Trip said the whole situation shook him up so bad, he didn't even feel like partying anymore. To make things worse, his friend dipped and left him stranded in NYC, straight ghosted him. Looking back, Trip admitted it might have been a blessing in disguise. Cause who knows what could have gone down if he actually ended up in Busta's VIP section that night. And then boom, jump to 2021, and once again, the rumors picked up speed. Busta was allegedly back out here making bold moves on dudes in clubs, and the whispers started flying all over again. Paparazzi even caught Busta allegedly slipping, leaving what looked like a pride event with a well-known trans woman by his side. But hold up, it gets even wilder. Another voice just stepped into the chaos. And it's none other than Orlando Brown. Yeah, you heard that right. Orlando came back swinging, and this time he brought the internet to a full stop.
Things that will make you buckle, bro. They make you buckle, bro. People done lost their families, bro. People done lost their kids and shit. A lot of stuff that happened.
Life insurance policies out on rappers. Mainly because it's more dangerous for rappers nowadays.
I mean, this is a touchy subject. I just, you know, I'll give you this. You can willingly turn woman and have a bag, or you can do what I'm doing. You can willingly turn trans, or you can get in trouble and go to jail and get stuff, and they do it to you forcefully because you up and you know.
In a recent video, Orlando claimed he had been involved with a whole squad of major rappers and named names. He said Diddy, Busta Rhymes, Drake, Bow Wow, and plenty more were all part of the list. And let's be honest, that lineup alone had social media in a frenzy. Now here's the catch. Orlando's got a complicated history. He's battled substance issues and has been known for some pretty out there behavior. So when he first started making these wild industry claims, most people brushed it off. Folks just laughed, chalking it up as another one of Orlando's unpredictable rants. But now, with all these top-tier names getting hit with serious allegations, people are starting to pay attention. Suddenly, what once sounded like random madness doesn't feel so far-fetched anymore. Could Orlando have been trying to blow the whistle this whole time? Could he have been dropping hints about what's really been going down behind closed doors in the music game? And here's the part that's got folks side-eyeing. Orlando has repeatedly hinted that some of these rappers didn't just mess with him. They took advantage of him in ways he wasn't ready for. That's a whole different level of disturbing.
We made love.
Who you made love with?
Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you seen Busta in the airport too. They were from Charlotte. He didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
What's that name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Usher. Usher's a gusher. And
why you not naming no hoes?
I'm telling you, bro. It's my dad's friends. My dad sent his friends on me.
Who's your dad? Lucifer.
For some added context, over the past few years, Orlando's popped up in a handful of viral interviews, sharing jaw-dropping claims about secret Hollywood rituals, dark power moves, and shady backroom dealings. In one of those sit-downs, he even said there are some big-name monsters moving through the entertainment industry like it's nothing. And out of nowhere, he dropped Diddy's name specifically, strongly implying that something went down between them. Back then, most folks laughed off Orlando's claims, brushing his words aside like just another wild chapter in the never-ending Diddy Down Low rumors. It became part of the running joke. But now, with serious allegations stacking up against Diddy from multiple directions, the energy around Orlando's words has shifted. People are starting to reconsider. Maybe he wasn't just talking wild after all. When the explosive headlines about Diddy's alleged misconduct dropped back in November, Cam Capone jumped on it quick. He brought Orlando Brown back on his channel for another sit-down. This time, they revisited Orlando's viral claims from the year before, including those eyebrow-raising comments about Diddy, and even circled back to 50 Cent's infamous story about Diddy allegedly trying to take him shopping. Now here's where it gets real strange. When asked about Diddy again, Orlando just smirked and said, "He's a nice guy." That's it, nothing else. No details, just that. And that silence It said a lot. A growing number of people believe Orlando's actually playing it smart, mixing just enough truth with wild-sounding antics to throw people off while still putting real info out there. It's like he's using his unpredictable behavior as a shield, protection in plain sight. On the flip side, there are folks saying we shouldn't dismiss him just because he's had public struggles with mental health. They argue that maybe Orlando's pain and instability actually come from traumatic stuff that went down behind the scenes. Maybe this is his way of processing it, or maybe he's been trying to get justice in his own way. And it looks like Orlando isn't done speaking his truth either. He recently went viral again, doubling down on his earlier claims. He said it wasn't just Diddy, Busta Rhymes, and a whole lineup of other industry names were involved too. While some still roll their eyes, the way he's been talking in more recent interviews, calm, clear, and focused, has a lot of people doing a double take. Could it be that Orlando's been trying to warn us this whole time and nobody wanted to listen? When you really start reading between the lines, everything starts clicking into place. And with all these rumors flying around Busta Rhymes lately, of course 50 Cent had to jump in and stir the pot, like clockwork. 50, who's getting ready to hit the stage with Busta at the upcoming Humor and Harmony Comedy Festival, couldn't help himself. He threw shade by posting that iconic pic of Busta in his bright yellow outfit from the 1999 MTV VMAs, straight clowning. But Busta wasn't about to sit there and take it. He clapped back quick, posting an AI-generated photo of 50 and hit him with, "I keep telling you, the blessings don't stop, so we ain't ever gonna stop." And just like that, the jokes were flying again. He even added more heat with a playful jab. "I thought it was Father's Day, 50 Cent, D, and you out here looking like this. Don't let me catch you in the mirror getting glammed up for Shreveport." Now, yeah, it's all fun and games between the two, just some friendly roasting. But fans, they're not all laughing. In fact, a lot of people are calling Busta out, saying it's time to cut the jokes and speak on the real stuff, like those VIP club allegations that keep resurfacing. One fan commented, "I've heard multiple stories about Busta, that he's a busty snatcher and has a history of mistreating smaller men." Another person added, "This stuff been floating around for years." The scariest part? Some folks claim Busta's dealing with so much self-hate, he actually lashes out at the same type of men he secretly deals with. That's dark. Others pointed to what they say is a pattern. The rumored violence, the club stories, the misogynistic behavior, and now the claims that tie it all together. People aren't just shrugging this off anymore. So what do you think about all these swirling allegations around Busta Rhymes? And what's your take on Orlando Brown's bombshell claims about being involved with Busta, Diddy, and other high-profile rappers? Let's get into it in the comments. Sound off and don't hold back. And before you go, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more real tea straight from the source. We're gonna keep breaking it down just like this. Catch you in the next one, my stars and hushers. You already know how we do. Stay sharp, stay watching, and stay tuned.